So, welcome to the EnteleCast by EnteleKey, the weekly gaming news and discussion show that's mostly in English.
I'm Jad,
And I'm Sander.
and these are the news for the week.
But first, let's talk about how we have new graphics. We're working on improving the presentation of the podcast, and this is what we came up with. We hope you like them. Let us know in the comments below what do you think about our new images. For now, I just want to thank our graphics designer um, for his work. Thank you very much, dude. And now let's move on to the big topic of the week: more Xbox announcement and next gen discussion. More Xbox news for you guys. Where is Nintendo? Where is Sony? Where is the Avatar? We don't know, but we have more news for you. Oh, I was waiting the whole week for this moment.
It was nice.
Thank you.
And for quick topics, we have a lot of quick topics this week. We start with Sony limiting their PS5 sales to one per home. Also, Nintendo release schedules delays this year.
Also, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, the Jet Set Radio spiritual successor, was announced this week and it looks very fresh. And speaking of spiritual successors, Yuji Naka says, can make Nights into Dream sequels? Well, no problem. He announces Balan Wonderland, a game that has big Nights vibes and also Sega vibes despite being published by Square Enix. We're going to be talking about it.
We'll also be talking about Rocket League and how it's going free to play, and also it's moving away from the Steam store and going to the Epic store.
Ooh.
Yeah, a big blow for Steam, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's start with that big topic about the Xbox announcement. We saw this stream together live on Tuesday, it was? No, Thursday, yeah.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, and man, the internet sure is divided over this one. I've been looking at tweets online and reviews and conversations, and yeah, people isn't that excited right now, it seems. But we were actually excited about some titles they mentioned. The titles they mentioned were Halo Infinite, As Dusk Falls, Avowed, Fable, Forza Motorsport, The Gunk, Phantasy Star Online HD, New Genesis, Stalker 2, State of Decay 3, Tetris Effect Connected, which is just a DLC, Warhammer 40,000, Crossfire X, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, an expansion, a DLC also, Everwild, Grounded, The Medium, The Outer Worlds Peril on Wargun, another expansion pack, Psychonauts 2, Tell Me Why, Balan in Wonderland, Dragon Quest 11, S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition, this time for real, we swear, Echo Generation, Exomecha, Hello Neighbor 2, Watch Dogs Legion, Forza Horizon 4, man, this list is long. Gears 5. These games are optimized.
These games are already out.
Yeah, they announced the optimized version for the Xbox Series X. The Forza 4, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Ori and the Will and the Wisps, and Sea of Thieves. And I don't know why they list here previously announced things, but yeah, they want to pad the list. What were you most excited about, Jad?
Whoa. Well, the first game that caught my eye was Tell Me Why.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a demanding game, or so it seems at the moment. It seems a little like the other don't know game that's out right now. That's
all the other dot nuts games that are there, like the Life is Strange ones, right?
Yeah, like Life Strange. I forgot the name of the series for a moment. But I mean, looking at the graphics here, we were looking at something similar to Life is Strange 2. So we are talking about a game that we will be able to play if we have Gamebox, X Pass, Gamebox X Pass, Xbox Game Pass. I mean, we're looking about at a game that we'll be able to play if we have Xbox Game Pass when it comes out. Um, and this is the kind of game I think they were aiming to go to use to reach more people. That is not a game that's very demanding, that draws you with a story that seems heavy on the feelings department at least.
Oh yeah, all the feels, man.
Well, that will be a don't not game.
Yeah.
So I feel like this a game like this, they announced it on their lineup, so as a way to expand their library, not really a way to show the power of the Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Even if that was what they were trying to say with their event, that they were announcing Xbox games that showed the power of the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new console release. They're obviously gonna be showcasing what makes it different from the previous console. But since this is a more broad list of games, not all of those games will be like that. They'll just be new games. That's fine too.
Yeah. But you asked me which one was the one that I was most excited about, and this time it's this one. Tell me why. I've liked the other games from Not Done. I liked the other games from Not, and well, this one seems promising at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
And what about you?
I'm also looking forward to that one. But the first one that comes to mind, even if it's not an Xbox exclusive, because that's something we saw a lot this trailer. Many good games, but none of them are exclusive. Is the Medium, which we already knew about from that PlayStation event. I don't remember when that was, but they also announced it there. This time we have more gameplay, more information over the game, and I love these Silent Hill vibes. I wish there was I wish there were a spiritual successor to Silent Hill, and maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. So that's what I'm excited about. But you know what? Also, for the first time, I've felt myself drawn to Halo. I never played Halo games, which is weird because I was a huge first-person shooter fan when I was a kid, playing on the PC. But you know the classics like Doom and Duke Nukem stuff. But then the game Sonic moved to the GameCube, and I followed Sonic, and I was left out of all of that. So I didn't try those games. Maybe this is the time to reconnect to that part. I love sci-fi. I love shooting. I don't know what else is there in Halo. It looks pretty, not next gen, but it looks pretty. So I would like to play it. And also, wow, the Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. It's supposed to be the same game, as far as I understand, but it is actually um, a modern RPG game with modern graphics instead of something that could literally run on the Dreamcast like 20 years ago. And that actually looks really exciting.
Yeah, actually, that game actually caught my eye. I played a little the Fantasy Star Online too. I mean you know the old looking one, and I had some fun. but in the end I had to uninstall it, but because there was no American release of it, and I was having some problems with compatibility and stuff. So I hope this releases everywhere. As far as I know, as I understood, this will release in America too, right?
Yeah, this is the first time the game is. Well, this is the second time the game is brought to America. It is already, I think, on the Xbox One, and this new HD version will be an international release, as far as I understood.
Yeah, I couldn't really find information in it, but I hope it is because I actually want to play Fantasy Star Online too.
Yeah,
Another game I want to talk about from this lineup is Grounded.
grounded. Okay.
Yeah. The way they opened their trailer with the cyberpunk reference,
Oh, it's that one. Yeah, I was trying to remember which game was it. Yeah.
I laughed so hard at that.
Right? Like, I literally didn't remember the name of the game, but I remember that joke. It was very good.
And that's actually their marketing working, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone ever did something like that. Like, oh, the best game to wait for Cyberpunk 2020 for.
The biggest game, they say, or something like that.
The biggest. Okay.
And they were like, now you want to look at the smallest game? Now look at us. And they start showing like really, really small kids. I don't know if they were shrinked or something. I don't know what the premise of this is, but well, they're small now.
Microsoft, we shrunk our players.
Yeah, this one seems very interesting. It's something we've seen before, but just touched by in some games. But because you were a bug, not a person,
Yeah.
last time I saw something like this, I'm sure there must be other games that touch this subject. But last time I personally saw this was in the PS1 game A Bug's, from the movie A Bug's Life.
Right.
Yeah, I find funny how they make the size different work. Mm, the way they use the textures in the gameplay, you can see some textures show details you usually don't see in plants or animals. So
Right. Yeah, it has to be. They're stretching the world to that scale. You should be able to see all the details, and that's something we don't usually see. It's a nice thing. It's a nice touch.
and I like that it has multiplayer. They say that it will have offline and online multiplayer. So I'm actually waiting for this. I think this was this an exclusive title?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's an Xbox Studio game,
Okay, then
but let
it
me
is.
see. Um,
Well, it will be available on PC.
well, yeah, PC, but yeah, that's kind of exclusive because it's only through their Windows Store thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but is this a PvE kind of game? I thought it was PvP when I first saw the trailer.
I understood it as a PvE. They
Huh?
have some this they showed some building. Um, they showed some building mechanics
Mm,
like in. They looked like Fortnite like.
yeah, that's why I thought it was a PvP kind of game. And I first thought, oh, this is a Fortnite for kids, which I know kids are the ones who play Fortnite the most. but um, they share their community and their online experience with non kids. So I thought maybe they were designing this game to grab in some kids and only have them play together with only more kids to make a like a safer environment and whatnot. And perhaps that'll happen, but since it is not a PvP game, it says here, I was reading the page, survive together in this cooperative survival adventure, then it can't really um, take the kids away from Fortnite because it's not the same experience. But it sure is similar. Very, very similar.
I feel this game a little more like The Forest. Okay.
Mm, yeah, I didn't know about this game. So another survival, but in the survival environment, but more adult-like, I suppose. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's a little gory as far as I remember,
Hmm.
and it's about surviving with other people or by yourself in the forest. And there are some creatures that want to get to you.
Okay.
I don't remember you being able to domesticate the creatures themselves, like in Grounded, the game we're looking at right now. But
Mhm.
it's somewhat a similar game. It's a survival game. You can play it co-op, and you get to fight some creatures in this time. The creatures you play are insects. I don't know. It sounds. It looks really good. I mean, I actually want to play this game a lot, and I hope you want to play it because I want to play it with you. Also with you. Yes, you.
Yeah, our off-screen graphic designer who's recording here with us without you being able to listen to him. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to play it.
I hope it's not that expensive.
um, I mean, we should be able to get it for free with the Xbox Game Pass, like everything else they announce. We just pay. You know how much it costs? Have you checked the price for the Xbox Game Pass?
Yeah, last time I checked, about a month ago, it was like 9 pesos per month for 3 months, and then it was, I think, 120 per month. I don't know. Let me check it
Yeah,
real
I'm
quick.
checking over here. It's exactly well, I don't know about the first 3 months, but your first payment is just 10 pesos, 10 Mexican pesos. That's half a dollar, the equivalent. And after that, I don't know if after the first month or the first 3 months or whatever, but after that is just 209 pesos a month, which is about $10, a little bit less. Um, so it's really cheap and much cheaper than buying game after game. So yeah, this ties back into what we said in another podcast that Microsoft is trying to turn gaming into a service
Subscription.
platform in the sense that you pay for the games and for the monthly subscription, and then you don't have to pay for the individual games, just like we don't pay for the music in albums, or we don't pay for a whole show to watch. We just pay Netflix, whatever you used to watch, or we just pay uh, YouTube Music or whatever mainstream thing you use to listen to your music. It's pretty convenient, actually. And you end up spending more money at the end of the year, which is exactly what Microsoft wants. So, win win.
This service sounds really appealing at the moment. It's something I want to. It's something I want to subscribe to in the future. I will be subscribed at the moment if I have the time to use it. But you know, when I get the time, I will definitely be subscribed to this service. It and not only because of the new games that are coming up to it. There's some games in there that I want to play, like Halo, the first ones, because
Oh, yeah, the collection.
I am on the same situation as you are. I used to play more first person shoot. First ones. I used to play more first person shooters before, and I enjoyed them. Then they all became more or less the same, so I stepped away from them a little, and I've been playing some, I've been avoiding some, but this
Hmm.
one is is a first person shooter I want to play again from the beginning. And even more if the next Halo, the Halo Infinite, will be available on this service.
Oh yeah, totally. Sorry, I need to interrupt for a moment the podcast here because I'm subscribed to other YouTube news channel. I mean, obviously, I don't do all the research uh, myself, but and I just got a notification about one of the channels talking about the new massive Nintendo source code and ROM leak. So look forward to us talking about that topic next week because wow, there sure has been a lot of leaks this year with Nintendo.
Oh, we'll see what the week has to give for Nintendo.
Yeah, if anything.
Let's see what how they handle this again.
Yeah, likely more shutdowns and copyright infringement lawsuits and stuff like that, like they always do. But it is too much. It is too much. What leaks they've been having. Um, who knows what's going on over at Nintendo?
I hope they're looking into that. I mean, we just recently had to change our passwords. I think it was twice, or at
Yeah.
least that was what they asked me to. They asked me twice to change my password. I already had my account with two-factor authentication, so they didn't ask me to set it up. But yeah, I mean, I hope no accounts were leaked this time.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to check exactly what leaked. It appears to only be source code and ROMs, which is still huge, but it at least doesn't compromise the privacy or security of us as players and users.
But we'll talk about this next week.
Yeah, we'll look into all the details, talk about it next week. But for now, that's all we have to say about the new announcements. Let us know in the comments below which games, if any, are you excited about for these new Xbox from the announcement. Um, and we would like to continue talking about well what picture we are seeing right now regarding the next gen gaming because we've been hearing a lot about Microsoft these 2 weeks, and overall Microsoft has had good communication with us these months, but it's not the same case for Sony or Nintendo. Sony has been the most quiet, perhaps. I don't know if they're trying to have a competition with Nintendo to see who is the most quiet.
But even
Um,
like that, we all want that PlayStation.
yeah, even like that, we want the PlayStation. Seems to be um, the, what has the most hype around. Unlike the Xbox, which we have heard a lot about, but people doesn't seem to have a reason to buy a new Xbox, and that's only worse because of the strategy Microsoft is going for, where they're saying, "Hey, you can play the new games on your current Xbox or on the X Cloud. You don't need the Xbox." And it's like, well,
And in the future, probably in your phone.
yeah. So why do you need an Xbox Series X? Mm, we don't know. Microsoft doesn't know. They talked a lot about how you'll be able to play these games also on the Xbox, but not just on the Xbox. And that's a weird thing for me to say because I'm not big on the idea of exclusive games. Um, consoles, consoles made a lot of sense in the 90s where PCs weren't that powerful and specialized hardware was what worked, what used to work. And consoles were specialized hardware in 3D graphics or 2D graphics and stuff. So it made sense back then to have consoles, but now that PCs have caught up to that um, general power and they can do a lot of things, and consoles are essentially inferior PCs, even though right now they are as powerful as the most powerful PC, so that's a great budget alternative. But in 5 years from now, that won't be the case anymore. So that's the current situation of consoles. Um, and all they use to differentiate themselves are the exclusive games and the exclusivity deals that go along with it, and the brand loyalty, which is, I mean, if you like it, that's great, but it's kind of it's kind of shallow. I would dare to say, because functionally it's no different to a PC, and they're just artificially restricting the availability of games. Um, there's no real reason that an exclusive game wouldn't run on any other console right now. You can make an argument for Nintendo here and there because, where else are you going to play a portable game if not on the Switch? Where else are you going to use motion controllers with two different controllers if not on the Switch? They're trying to differentiate themselves that way, and it's working. They're printing money on their toaster, and that's why they don't have a next gen strategy right now. They're like, no, we're fine. The Switch is midway through its life. Um, so for me to say that Xbox has no exclusives and doesn't giving us no reason to buy games, it feels weird. It goes against what I believe, but it's also true. And I also got to admit that's the strategy that keeps consoles alive and prices, of course, because who's gonna buy a $3,000 computer when they can just buy a shiny $600 Xbox? That's just a number I made up. We still don't have prices that I know of, but I mean it's the most expensive we are looking forward. It's the most expensive price it should have. So um, it's weird. They're shifting their strategy here. They're shifting their focus. They're shifting what it means to play, and but we don't have many reasons to switch to the Xbox. We've been saying these previous weeks, oh, Microsoft is gonna be impossible to compete against because they are doing a lot of vertical integration. Cool, but now that we're seeing their lineup for the new generation, it's like, and why would I want to get into this ecosystem? What's the point? I have my PC and I can play everything in it, but I don't need to buy um, the Game Pass because I will be able to buy it on discount on Steam, and that's it.
Well, I would like to answer your question. I think the Xbox is not really their next gen console. I think their service, the Xbox Game Pass, it's their next console. But they're masking it on a console, and I think the console is more like a entry point for people who can't
Hmm.
get a higher end PC.
Yeah, but I mean, you made good points there. But why would I get into their ecosystem, into their true next gen console, which is the X Cloud and stuff like that? Um, if you know, um, why would I want to pay just to play Halo just a couple of times and then that's it?
And that's the beauty of subscription. You don't have to to subscribe to all the services all the time. You can shift between them.
That's true. That's true. But then again, the question is more in the context of I already have a Switch, and and I have it because I want to buy my Metroids, which don't exist yet, and maybe they won't. but I want to play my Metroids, my Zeldas, and I already have a PC, and I want to play Blizzard games, which aren't available on Xbox either. And I can play the Xbox game on the PCs, and sure, I can buy the um, the subscription, but time is a limited resource, and I'm already spending it on those things that I mentioned, and that's not. Uh, and I'm not alone in that. The people who has their PlayStations already are spending their time um, on their Final Fantasies and their Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. Why would they invest to spend more time on just one game or two on that? I mean, I can totally see it happening. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty convenient to be able to pay 1 month, especially with those low prices. Play the game you want, and then never again unsubscribe and never again playing touch the Xbox service. And what's in it for Microsoft? How will that work in the long run?
As far as we know right now, their lineup right now encompasses both new games and old games, and they have shown us that they plan to expand their library, and they have a library that has both exclusives from them. I mean, they don't have the most, they don't have the flashiest exclusives, but they have some exclusives. But at the same time, they, I mean, I've seen the service they have right now with my brother, and he's played so many games in there, and and it shows that they not only want to fill their service with exclusives.
Hmm. So
Uh,
it's more about the convenience.
yeah, they are. I feel like they are going for a Netflix move, like when Netflix was against Blockbuster.
Hmm.
It was more about the convenience than the lineup they had. At least in their online service at the beginning, Netflix was very lacking in titles, and even like that, they were giving a strong hit, a strong punch against Blockbuster.
Hmm.
So I am not defending Xbox or Microsoft in this. This it's more like the feels I get from this service they're showcasing at the moment. I feel like they are going for convenience and putting everything that's available outside in just one place, and I feel like that's what they are aiming to.
I see. I see. Yeah. You made me realize that even though we've been talking about the convenience aspects and the Netflix-like thing, didn't really put that much thought into considering how the volume and convenience can on themselves be a game changer. So even if even though I did mention it last time, I believe, like it didn't quite sink in yet that maybe it'll just become something so large that it'll be impossible to ignore, or um, it'll be desirable on its own just for that reason, and maybe they will draw out a lot of people like that. Hmm. So we'll have to see. I have to see what happens. But yeah, you made a good point there with that.
But only time will let us know what's happening. I hope they are going for that route. That will change the gaming I think in a
Positive way?
eso era lo que buscaba, in a positive way.
You mean to tell me that they're about to change the game? Anyway.
So that was all for the Xbox at the moment. Let's see what they have next week or maybe next month. We really don't know at the moment. They said they had another event prepared later this year, but I mean they've been giving out hints all year long.
Yeah, as I said, they're the ones who have had the better communication in these times, and they don't seem to want to change that anytime soon. But continuing with the with what other companies are doing for next generation, we have Sony limiting PlayStation 5 to one per home. And this was discovered on the website, not announced, not leaked. They simply have in the source code this error message that says you can only purchase one version of the PS5 console, disc or digital. You already added one PS5 console to your cart. And I mean, it makes sense. They already had
We don't want what happened with the PS4 at the beginning.
yeah, they already had issues in previous releases, and if that was when the world was working normally, how bad it will be this year where the civilization have collapsed all over the world and there's less productivity. It should be worse, definitely. So it's a good measure, but I mean, there's nothing stopping you from buying only one on their website and then buying another one on your local Best Buy or Walmart and stuff like that. But it should help anyway.
But at least they are limiting their sales to one per household. I mean, yeah, it will be a hassle, but to buy more, you will be able to buy more than one. But at least you will not be able to buy like 10 or 15 at the same time from the same place and take them away from other people and sell them back for a higher price.
Yeah, people who'll be making a profit off of reselling them on eBay will find a way. But at least the general public won't put that strain on the production and availability for the PlayStation 5. That's it for the topic, right?
See.
Okay. But continuing with the note of next gen gaming, um, actually a whole lot of nothing from Nintendo, in the sense that they've been the most quiet this year. I mean, I know they're happy printing money on their toaster, but how are they going to continue to print money if they run out of ink? I mean, games. Well, maybe they don't know, but they have shared with us some information on their most recent, their fiscal year statement, where they say that development schedules may be impacted due to the difference in development environment between working from home and on the office since teleworking is implemented at the company and its partners. As a result, we may not be able to proceed with the release of Nintendo products and the start of services as planned. And once I read a tweet that said that while no one in the world were actually prepared for working at home, Japan overall had it worst because Japan is a weird country in the sense that we all know that they are really advanced with robots and technology, and we have this very futuristic image of Japan. But then they don't use credit cards and they use cash only because they don't want to. And they still use fax even today in the era of email, which they also use. But fax is a really common thing. And my point there is that they have been they have this mixture of futuristic stuff and really stuck in the past stuff. So when it came to work remotely, they were really unprepared to access their computers and their uh, whole work information from outside the company. That's what I heard in some tweets, anyway. But we've been seeing that actually as the year went by, because not only Nintendo but Sony also hasn't shown a lot of information regarding their next console. They just say, "Don't worry, it'll be on time. You'll see it on holiday launch," but then they don't really talk about it. Um, but yeah, that seems to be the state of Japanese companies, and particularly Nintendo seems to be affected for this. And of course, this is not good news for the fans, even though we are understanding, or should be understanding of this. It hasn't been an easy year for anybody. Well, Nintendo fans are wondering, what will we buy this year? We can only play Animal Crossing so many hundreds of hours. What do we look forward to? And Nintendo is saying, we don't know either. The last Nintendo Directs have showcased partnered games. Um, I suppose Nintendo already promised them um, some screen time on their Nintendo Direct, but since it didn't happen, the big main Nintendo Direct, they had to make a whole new Direct just for the partners, and Nintendo fans doesn't really seem to read, because they were very clear about this will be a partner showcase. There will be no first player games, and when the event happened, people were angry because there were no first party games. Uh, we need to be more understanding as a community, or at least read tweets better. Um, but even so, well, Nintendo has abandoned us. And
But it's not like Nintendo, as you say, could really do something about it, at least at the moment.
yeah, we gotta be understanding. I mean, as much as we can say, oh, other companies have adapted and then have came through. Well, congratulations, but this is a new situation for everybody, and everybody has to deal with it differently. So if they need more time, that's okay. You gotta be understanding. It's not like this has been the worst drought in Nintendo history anyway, because well, the Wii U was a thing, and that those were years without major announcements. Years. I mean, there was a re-release of like the Luigi edition for New Super Mario Bros. Something, but yeah, it was pretty empty years. Um, just a tiny setback like this, it's not it's not something to be worried about. Besides, you can always purchase the Xbox Game Pass for only $10 a month and get all the games you don't have. Oh, I see now why Microsoft is doing this.
I wish they paid us for this promotion.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. It would be nice to have any sponsors. Actually, if you would like to sponsor us, you can get in touch with us through the contact.entelekey@gmail.com email. Please.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Which is Jet Set Radio, except not really. Jet Set Radio spiritual successor Bump Rush Cyberpunk looks so damn fresh. Featuring soundtrack from the original Jet Set Radio composer Hideki Naganuma. I've been following him on Twitter for a long time, and he's an interesting person. But he has made so much cool music, especially for things like Sonic Rush and Jet Set Radio, and now Bump Rush Cyberpunk. That's great.
I never got to play Jet Set Radio, and seems colorful and at least visually appealing. All I've heard of it was that the controls were wonky, and even though the game was nice and the music was great, the controls were weird and the gameplay was unrewarding. But that's like second-hand opinions. I don't really have an opinion, but it's most of what I've heard. Um, that was for PC. The controls were wonky on PC.
Oh, which is funny because I was right about to mention that have you seen a Dreamcast controller? But that was a really wonky controller in itself. But you mean to tell me that the wonky controllers were on the PC port? Wow,
Well, did anyone get to have a Dreamcast?
that's a fair point. I mean, all the three Jet Set Radio fans who just heard you saying that it was a wonky game and all that are going to be angry at you. But
Well, I'm open to playing it, but I think it was on Steam.
yeah, it's on Steam. We can play. We can and should play it someday for the game of the week. Actually, it would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, where I was going with this is where that I mean, what I've heard from fans of this of Jet Set Radio is that they hope this game is Jet Set Radio with good controls and good gameplay.
Yeah, because when we talk about how cool Jet Set Radio is, it's definitely because of aesthetics. It's a great game in the sense of how visually appealing it is. How visually appealing it is.
And soundly appealing.
Yeah, the sound design, the music was also great. All things aesthetics are on point with this game. Um, but my interest with the game is I would like to play it because I only saw it back in the day, but I didn't have a Dreamcast, and I was only left fantasizing about it, looking how cool it was. I actually got to play it on some stores, like they had these kiosks where you get to play the games. That's how I got to play this, but 30-second demo is not does not a good opinion make. So I'm actually looking forward to play this, perhaps on the game of the week. See how weird or the controllers are, but we will get to find out how much improvement there was on on this franchise, or rather on these kind of games, when we see the new Bump Rush Cyberpunk, which notably is not made by Sega. I don't know how we managed to make it this far into the note without mentioning that. It's a spiritual successor made by an entirely different team, Team Reptile. Who are they? I'm not sure. But they are working with Hideki Naganuma, so at least it'll be the same kind of soundtrack, but not made by Sega. So since it's made by people who were real passionate about the game, I do believe there are gonna be some fixes, just like it features the same visual style. I mean, I would even dare to say that it looks like it has the same poly count as the Dreamcast game. So they went really far into emulating the same Jet Set Radio style. But maybe they'll fix the things that'll be needed to be fixed. Hopefully. Yeah, they don't have much information on on that. They've been sharing fan art on Twitter after the trailer, and that's pretty much it. Oh, you can also wishlist the game on Steam. If you're interested in that, go do that right now. Um,
Well, let's see what they have to offer us in the future.
yeah,
This
you'll
seems
have
like
to
a very
see.
interesting game at the
Yeah, definitely. Definitely all the aesthetics, all the vibe, all the Sega nostalgia.
and the music.
Ooh, music. Man, Naganuma is crazy. Balan Wonderworld. Do you know? Um, I haven't heard about Yuji Naka in the last 14 years. The last time I heard about him was when he left the Sonic team when they were developing 2006, midway through the development, and that's why Sonic games have been so different ever since. I mean, the issues with Sonic 2006 were to due to the short development time and all the pressure Sega put on them. But after that, well, they simply changed director without um, without any warning or something. And move 14 years into the future to today, we hear that Yuji Naka is working along with Naoto Oshima, I believe it's called. Um, they both were the fathers of Sonic, and now they created their own company, the Balan Company, which is a studio that works for Square Enix, and they are releasing this new game, which has really strong Nights into Dreams vibes. Another game I didn't play but wanted to play.
Also 3D Sonic vibes, but the good kind.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be any humans kissing uh, anthropomorphic animals here.
Well, gameplay wise, it looks like a mixture the between the Knights game, Sonic Adventure, and Sonic Heroes, or that's what I felt from the trailer at least.
Yeah, I would only change Sonic Heroes to something more like Mega Man. I mean, you are switching between abilities, but it says here that you have over 40 costumes. They're calling
80.
the 80. Yeah, they're calling costumes the power sets, the abilities. So it's a lot of variety, not just three roles like in Sonic Heroes, but definitely that's the same vibe. I mean, could you look at this image and not think Sonic Heroes? Because yeah, it's impossible. And again, it's the same character designers, it's the same people making the games as Sonic Heroes and pretty much every other Sonic game before 2006. So it makes sense. Just look at these characters. Come on, don't tell me this doesn't feel like Knights and also Sonic-y and stuff like that.
I feel like they are humanoid versions of Sonic in Shadow. Well, more like Silver in Shadow.
Yeah, they have those kind of vibes, especially Lance and Shadow. But yeah, it feels like some gijinkas of them. Found it really funny that they're calling their company the Balance Company and their logo is Balance Hat. I mean, I believe. Oh my god, Balance Hat. Oh my god, his name is Balan because he's the guy who brings balance to the world. Oh my god, that is so bad.
They did the Sonic once again.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. So, like I was saying, I find it really funny that they named their company after their first character. And, but oh my god, that isn't even at the level of the Balan character being like called like that. Oh my god, the other one is called Lance. Balan Lance. Oh,
that's what I was
They-
going to say. Their
they
names
together
make
bring balance. Oh, I can't.
They did the Sonic again.
They did the Sonic thing. Oh, God, what were we expecting from them?
I mean, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles,
Shadow.
yeah, Eggman, Balan, Lance, Balance.
Balance.
Uh, I want to play this game. I want to play all the games
Yeah.
we didn't talk about.
Yeah. Let's play this game someday. Oh my god.
I hope we can someday talk to you about this game on the Game of the Week.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure, we'll talk about it. Jesus Christ, the names. Uh, this week I've been watching my friend Sui play Death Stranding, and I had the same feeling with the names over there. Like, the main character is called Sam Porter Bridges. He's a guy that works as someone who ports things over bridges. That's why he's called Sam Porter Bridges. And he works for a company called Bridges, who was founded by someone called Bridget. Seriously? And Guillermo del Toro plays a character called Deadman because he's a doctor that works with dead people. Like, oh my god.
I both love and hate that trope.
Yeah. Yeah. That's peak Kojima, and this is peak Yuji Naka. Like, oh. We gotta do this with our games someday so people react like this.
Probably. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Moving on. Rocket League is going free to play. That's cool, but it's also moving away from Steam to the Epic Game Store. This is from The Verge.
Sorry. Well, it's about time Rocket League moves from Steam. I mean, well, it's about time Rocket League became free to play. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
This game always felt like it was supposed to be free to play, and I'm surprised. I was surprised when I tried to play it the first time, and I found out it was not free to play.
Yeah, right? Like, when I first heard Rocket League, I was like, oh, I should check this out. And then it's like, oh, I need to pay for this. It wasn't that expensive, but I wasn't gonna spend money on just my curiosity to see what this game was about.
As I said before, this felt more free to play because it's more about the gameplay, and it's not really an expansive game. It's small in that it doesn't really have many different worlds as far as I am concerned, and
Yeah, it's
and
all the maps are just reskinned versions of the same thing, so
yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
and the way they handle their cosmetics seems more appropriate of a free to play game, and
Yeah.
it seems like they're doing exactly just that now. They're making it free to play, and they're giving away stuff to people that bought it before.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's totally a free to play game in every sense, but the fact that you actually need to pay for it. So it makes sense. I don't know why they're doing it now, but it makes sense that they finally do this.
And I think that was everything for we had for this topic.
Yeah, so let's talk about the game of the week. This week we played over at our stream, which you can find at twitch.tv/EnteleKey. And we played both the Escape Chasm, which is the newly released game from Temmie, as well as its predecessor.
No, the other way around. We played.
Oh, Escape Chasm is the predecessor.
Uh-huh. And Dweller's Empty Path, the
Dweller's Empty Path. Thanks, I opened the wrong page here.
the game that just released. I must say, I love the colors. How they managed to. How she managed to emulate the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy colors. how she recreated the Game Boy aesthetic.
Yeah, she really did a great job with that, and it was fun to see. Well, the newest game being Escape Chasm. Now, Dweller's Empty Path goes full on Game Boy, but the previous one, Escape Chasm, does the same thing but on a blue color scheme instead of the Game Boy Green, and it also works. It looks really nice.
I felt this one had more Toby Fox influence in the visuals than Dweller's Empty Path.
Yeah, Dweller's Empty Chasm. Yeah, it feels like that.
And this one
Um,
felt more. That felt. This one felt like it drifted apart from that style and got its style of its own.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And man, the character designs in these games, wow. I really like her work and her artwork, characters. Uh, it's just so pretty.
And not just the character design as in visual character design, but also the writing of them.
Yeah, the writing was fun and interesting as well.
Yeah, character the characters were very lovable and or they inspired you to want to know that more about. Pardon. The characters were lovable or inspired you to want to know more about them. I mean, even the the environmental characters like the moth girl we saw, which was creepy,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like I wanted to know why she was there, but not in a this was random. More like she seemed to fit there, and I was like, wait, I want to see more of her.
Yeah. I especially like the witch girl from Escape Chasm. Um, she looks. I love her appearance and her personality, and total waifu there. Would like to know more about her.
I would also like to point out that while the music was great, it was a little repetitive for my taste, but I think that was because we were walking in circles for 3 hours.
Yeah, that and perhaps they were aiming for Game Boy aesthetics where the music were just very short loops. I don't know. But we also walked a lot to see um, to see what the game was. It has that old game vibes. One of those um, like the angry video game nerd likes to call them, except in a family friendly way, as the where the hell am I going games kind of games, which can be a little exhausting if you're not into that. Um, but otherwise, it is an interesting experience. Just be warned of that you'll be get lost a lot, and it's also a game where you walk a lot, and I mean that in the sense that that's pretty much the only thing you do. The gameplay is story driven. You go from point A to point B to do something for another character and to see what's going on in the world. But there's no fight. There are no items, no inventory. It's uh, just walk and get to know the world, and it's very fun to explore. But it's not. But if you're expecting something else, this may not be the game for you. But if this is what you are into, go play Escape Chasm. No, what was it called again?
Dweller's Empty Path.
Dweller's Empty Path. Right.
Yeah, well, as Temmie said on the games page, it's more of a walking simulator where you just walk and talk to all the characters, and that's, I mean, the way she tells the story in this game, I think that's what what best fits this kind of game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a genre. It's the style of game.
I belong to the group of people that enjoy these kind of games that are slow paced and let you walk around. It doesn't matter where you go, you will find something to do. And when you get to know the world, you can follow the story and just follow the story, or follow it from the beginning, if you get to find out where they want you to go. But yes, I do agree that this is not a game for everyone. But even though it's not a game for everyone, you can try to. If it's not a game, the kind of game for you, I think you could always try to look at a stream of it, as at someone streaming it and doing voice acting or something, and treating like an audiobook if that's your thing.
Yeah, that goes really well for these kind of games, doesn't it?
Yeah, but for people like me, I think it's a really nice and peaceful game.
Yeah.
I especially love the artistic views we got when we reached some points.
Oh yeah, you suddenly get these shots of like town, or how does your character see from the top of a mountain, stuff like that, and they were real nice. Her artwork and her pixel art is really good, and she really shows it off here.
I can't wait for more games coming from Temmie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for her work. I just hope she releases something that's not a walking simulator, because I'm not a huge fan of how this was presented. But she did say that she's working on learning how to make games, how to make mechanics. This was a test for her, and we've seen on her Twitter her already implementing some platforming mechanics and stuff like that. So yeah, really looking forward to those games.
And that was it for the game of the week and the EnteleCast.
Check out our streams over at Twitch, and remember to subscribe to our channel.
Thank you for being here with us this week.
I'm Xander,
And I'm Jad.
and tune in next week for more news and discussion about gaming.